you may know Balenciaga. It's a huge brand. Kim Kardashian is one of the faces of it. If you go to her profile right now, she has dripped herself in their new campaign. Balenciaga and Adidas are teaming up. They want nothing to do with Ye. Neither does she. Perfect brands for all of them to unite and to sell some products. So here's what happened with Balenciaga. Balenciaga recently released their ad for their next campaign, okay? In the ad, they have very young children. You can go to their website and they probably have already taken it down. They have very young children that are looking up with innocent eyes and they're holding teddy bears, Balenciaga teddy bears that are draped in them. The teddy bears are wearing leather products, okay? And the kids are holding them looking very innocent, obviously trying to almost look like children that are in captivity. It's very weird, it's very bizarre, but you might be thinking, oh, what's wrong is the people that are even thinking that. Who cares if a child is holding a bear and the bear is doing a little... Wait for this, okay?
Exposing the dark side of Balenciaga's new campaign. The last one will give you goosebumps. Firstly, did you notice the child's drawing of a devil? It's identical to the drawing from Insidious. Then the Balenciaga tape with 2 A's. They spelled this incorrectly on purpose to spell Baal. Baal is actually a demon. Then the doll with a padlock around its neck. It's screaming demonic. And finally, this one will give you goosebumps. Notice the carpet. The carpet is in the exact same positioning and layout of an Ouija board. Now tell me something demonic's not going on. Comment below your thoughts on this.
Balenciaga filed a $25 million lawsuit against the agency that did their recent campaign. This campaign featured children posing with teddy bear bags that were dressed in BDSM gear. And there was even a set that was staged with legal documents that pertain to child pornography. Balenciaga is suing this agency for using unapproved items. Society is always being indoctrinated with full-grown adults that don't even realize that they're part of it. So our children have very little chance and they should be protected. I could say a lot more based on what I know, but the safety of my family is important to me, so I'll focus on the business side of things. This is hard to understand from an operations point of view because whenever we work with agencies, there's always multiple rounds of approvals before anything gets published. I understand small details can sometimes be missed, but everything about this campaign seems well thought out. These bondage teddy bear bags were part of their recent collection. Posing children with sexualized items is clearly shock value marketing. Even their 2023 runway had a very unconventional vibe. When marketing pushes boundaries, it always results in a lot of brand awareness. But as consumers, we should always think about what these boundaries mean to us personally, and children should always be off limits.
Papa, baby. I don't know how to hold a baby.
Her name is Lola.
I'm the baby daddy. I'm the real daddy.
Give me the baby. Give me the baby.
Give me the baby. How are you? Did you name Lola? Or
Yeah, me.
Are you keeping your baby?
No, I can't.
I'm keeping my baby. I'm keeping my baby. Sorry, Dana. Go.
Balenciaga is not accidentally, repeatedly trying to tell you that they're supporting pedophilia. They're telling you on purpose they believe in their religion. They're not going to face any consequence for their action. And most people don't understand this. Once you understand how Satanists work and why they show you what they're trying to do, then the whole world makes a lot more sense. This Balenciaga thing is not just a messed up advertising campaign and stupid cookies and little hidden things. No, this is pedophiles telling you they're pedophiles. Genuinely in real time.
And when they see you wearing their t-shirt, they're like, you know what? That guy supports me. So burn your Balenciaga. Do not shop there anymore.
Yep, let's get into it. So, as a lot of you know, I carry a Balenciaga tote around, and I'm extremely embarrassed to say that I gave $1,500 to a child company. There is just no PR team that is going to get them out of this one. No thanks. This is basically my everyday bag. It's not gonna be any more. $1,500 is a small price to pay if it means that I'm not supporting child hashtag cancel Balenciaga.
So everyone on TikTok's talking about how Balenciaga is promoting kitty corn and trafficking because of their most recent ad campaign. And let's be honest, seeing a toddler with a teddy bear that looks like this is kind of like, but I didn't first think of bondage. I kind of just thought, oh, it's just trying to be goth. But then I saw this picture and was like, damn, that is a collar and a gag on a children's toy. Like, this is not cool. I am creeped out. Then TikTok started sleuthing around and found this ad from the luxury brand in July with a SCOTUS ruling on child corn as an Easter egg. The prop in the ad was an excerpt from a Supreme Court ruling where some guy named Williams was trying to change the definition of child pornography to be more lax. People started making more and more connections on Reddit, but this was the bombshell that got me. Now, I'm not rich or stylish enough to be shopping at Balenciaga, but I do know that when luxury brands are paying production companies to make campaigns like this, every single thing in this picture is inventoried. So when this picture was taken, at least 5 sets of eyes and one creative director was like, oh yeah, everything in this picture is legit, right? Including those books that are in the back. And this is the part where I give you a trigger warning, because up until I did this vid, I did not know who Michael Borman was. And I'm telling you right now, there's no reason for you to Google his name or look up the words "fire from the sun." But if curiosity gets the best of you, well then you are a braver person than me, because I took one glance at the censored image and threw my phone across the room and was like, nope, there's no reason why I need to be looking at toddlers like this. Side note, after the luxury brand tried to double down on its campaign, it issued a formal apology on its Instagram. Meanwhile, Kim Kardashian's come out and is like, yeah, this is some fucked up shit, while they're trying to sue the production company that made the images in the first place. But I'm kind of thinking, like, it's not about the most recent campaign, it's about your history.
Then they shot another photo from the campaign, and the same exact campaign, and there is a Balenciaga purse, and under the purse there's a lot of papers. When you zoom in to the papers, what you will see is it is a Supreme Court decision. The Supreme Court decision was Ashcroft versus the Freedom of Speech Coalition, the Freedom Coalition for Speech, right? That was a decision that the Supreme Court struck down certain aspects of virtual child. Okay, so essentially they are putting these papers that was the Supreme Court decision to strike down certain laws pertaining to virtual child under the purse. So there was no confusion where they stand. They are happy that the Supreme Court decided to get rid of virtual child laws, which now allows them to have these children that are holding these bears.
It's a great day to burn my Balenciagas, because in this household, we don't support any form of child exploitation or child abuse, and these people are sick.
Went the extra mile with straw and everything. Burn, baby, burn. Go back to the pit from whence you crawled out of.
Here's what's been happening since this Balenciaga scandal has hit the fan. Balenciaga has apologized, saying they don't condone child abuse, child violence, which I don't buy at all. Everything in this ad was so curated. And they've addressed the bears, addressed this image, which included this court document, and the court case was about child pornography. They said it was an accident and it came from a movie set. Here are things, though, that they still haven't addressed. Do correct me if I'm wrong, and they have addressed it, but I don't believe that they've addressed this book in the background. So this book by Michael Borman includes the most gruesome images of castrated toddlers, like truly such dark and disgusting imagery. And of all books, that's the one they chose to include in this. This isn't someone's real office. This is a fashion set. Everything is set up to capture an image. I don't believe they've addressed the other images. Like, everything in here is so satanic. The kid's shoes that kind of looks like the devil. Some people point out that the hoodie looks like satanic ritual getup. There's a photo here which looks like a drawing of a demon. You see the bear again. I even think that the rug looks like a Ouija board. And then on this tape, which we've seen before, it should say Balenciaga, but it doesn't. How are you telling me that this huge brand printed out a whole roll of tape, included it in their photo, and spelt their brand name wrong? Because what this says with the extra A, it would be Baal, B-A-A-L. And if you don't know, Baal is a deity, demon, god, who it said would take children's sacrifices. Now, the blame of who's responsible for all of this has been passed back and forth, and Balenciaga actually issued a $25 million lawsuit suing North Inc. 6, which was the production company, and set designer Nicholas Jardin, but his representatives are saying that Balenciaga is just using him as a scapegoat. And Balenciaga has now dropped this lawsuit after only 1 week of filing it. Now, there's been so much outrage, rightfully so, from the public. A lot of celebrities have stayed silent, and I totally agree with this quote, how they condemn, but not when it's against their financial interest. Because we've seen celebrities speak out sometimes about things before, but this one, they're strangely and very creepily silent. Nicole Kidman is a big one who hasn't said a word, and she was in this campaign. But she was able to promote Keith Urban's concert on her Instagram story, but hasn't said anything about condemning child abuse. What I also really hated and don't trust is that in so many of these news articles that I read, mainstream media was calling people who are speaking out about this right-wing conspiracy theorists. I saw that multiple times. I feel like they're using that language to minimize this and the legitimacy. This isn't a conspiracy. Everything is in plain sight. And the more we learn, the darker it gets. I have more things to say on this, so like and follow for more.
This one's gonna be a lot, so this entire video is a trigger warning. Thank you to this creator for making this video and everyone who tagged me in it. We're gonna dive even deeper. Let's watch the progression of going from this to this to this and then this. These are called GIMP masks, and I'll let you read right here what they're exclusively used for. We talked about desensitization, the process of overexposure so you no longer have a reaction to something, where magazines and brands are calling this edgy and a new wave in fashion. We can see it for what it is. Let's talk about House of Hammer. If you haven't seen this documentary, it's found on Discovery Plus, and it comes with an extraordinary trigger warning. This is celebrity actor Armie Hammer. He comes from a legacy of titans. His great-grandfather, Armand Hammer, was an oil tycoon. In the documentary, you'll hear them talk about his unprecedented access that he had to elite spaces, royals, presidents, celebrities, anyone, anywhere. This is Casey Hammer, granddaughter of Armand Hammer. She wrote a book called Surviving My Birthright in 2015. You really gotta watch the documentary to get the full picture. But she talks about the extremely abusive and cannibalistic practices that took place in her childhood, which was included at their parties. When allegations about Armie Hammer began to arise, Casey came forward to confirm, and so did many of the women who were involved with him. Trigger warning, pause to read. This was not kink culture, this was abusive. How does this all tie in? The normalization of bondage garments, not just in fashion, but involving children, is just another salute to what's happening behind the scenes. When Armand died, he left nearly everything to his grandson Michael. And with that newfound legacy and power, he made a lot of choices. He just recently passed from cancer. So who will take over now? This family of power that steps into places, expects and demands. In the documentary, you hear them talk about the level of power this family had. That the one with the most money made all of the rules. And they said it was always the Hammer family. So if abuse disguised as BDSM and cannibalism is normalized in this family, and they have connections to world leaders across the globe, let alone influence in industries like fashion, what else is going on? This is just what we can find on the surface internet. Never stop being a researcher of the research.